Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about disability ministry and how to get started. So before you do anything, the first thing you want to do is pray. You want to make sure that the Lord is directing your path and putting you on the way to be able to create the ministry that He wants you to have. So make sure that you've prayed about it and you really feel like this is what God is leading you to do. The first thing you should do after that is talk to your executive staff. Make sure that you've spoken to pastors or anyone who's in charge of creating new ministries, and make sure that they are on board with you. It shouldn't be hard to explain your heart and to show the need for a disability ministry in your church, but you need to make sure that you go through the proper channels. Number 2, talk to the parents of potential kids that you think you're going to serve in your ministry. See what kind of needs they have and see what they need to be able to be successful. Number 3, find a space. Make sure that the space you have is going to meet the needs of the kids you're going to serve. That's going to include how big your space is going to be. A lot of kids with autism and oppositional defiance, they need more space to move around in. So make sure you have a space that will meet your kids' movement needs. If there's somebody who is overly active and they need a lot of room to jump and run and crawl and whatever, then give them place to do that. Make sure that you have an appropriate space. Also, you want to think about where your space is in the building. Make sure that it's not somewhere that you're having to walk through a lot of overstimulation to get to. Like, you don't really want it to be something that they have to walk through the whole church and go all the way to the very back of the building through all sorts of crowds and noises in order to get to it. Be thoughtful about where you put the space so that it can be something close to parking, close to restrooms, and close to the exit so that they can get in and out easily without having to be overstimulated through large crowds and things. Also with that, be aware of being too close to an exit. That can also be a problem for runners or kids who like to elope, as we call it in the special ed world. So number 4, just use the curriculum you already have. Start with what you're already using for your church and adapt it to meet the needs of the kids you're going to serve. So we use the orange curriculum at our church, and I actually use the preschool curriculum with my kindergarten through 6th grade class because it is exactly what they need at their level. Now, I do adapt some of the materials and some of the activities to be what they need. I have 2 friends that have wheelchairs, and so I change a lot of the movement activities to be things that they can participate in. And at our church, we also use an incentive program that's bucks that they can use to spend at a store at the end of each month. And the ways they earn bucks at our church is to bring their Bibles, recite their Bible verse for the month, show the fruits of the Spirit, and have good behavior. So for my nonverbal friends, I do a cut and paste Bible verse that I create that goes along with what our program is. And I make it where they can participate and still get their bucks, but they don't have to verbally say their verse. They can just rearrange it and put it in the right order. So it lets them be able to participate. And again, that goes back to talking to your parents and finding out the needs of each individual kid. Your program will be most successful when you can help each family be able to thrive and be able to grow in the church environment. And that's going to start with just conversations about what parents need and what their kids need. So number 5, recruit. This one is the hardest. It's not easy to get people to come and want to volunteer in special needs classrooms. When you say special needs or disability ministry, that scares a lot of people. They don't really understand it because they've not really been around it. So you're going to have to educate people. Invite them to come and observe and see what kind of things that you guys do. Invite them to come and meet your friends that they're going to be working with. Once people kind of see that it's not as bad as they think it's going to be, and they're just everyday kids that need some extra love and attention in different ways, then you'll be more successful at recruiting people. And again, above all, pray. Pray that the Lord will bring you the people who He feels need to work with the kids that you're going to serve. Remember, we all know that the harvest is plentiful and the workers are few, but you have to keep praying for God to send the right people to come and serve in your ministry. Pray that the right space will open up. Pray that the pastors will be on board with what you're wanting to do. Pray that the families come and that your program can grow. And don't be discouraged if it takes a while. I've been doing this right out a year, and I've been able to grow it some. We have 3 different classes. We have a preschool class that's only open for 1 service a weekend. We have 3 services each weekend. And And then I have a kindergarten through 6th grade room that's open full-time for all weekend services and our Wednesday night service. And then I have a high school room, 7th through 12th grade, that's only open on Wednesdays. So it's not easy to grow a program, but the more you pray and the more you seek God's direction, the more he's going to bless it and grow it, because Jesus came to seek and to save the lost, everyone. He wanted us to go into all the world and reach all people. And his ministry focused on the lame, the deaf, the blind, the poor, and the needy. So this community of families with disabilities is one of the main groups that Jesus came to serve. It's high time that the church reached out and did more to protect them and to help them and to let them flourish and grow to be what God created them to be, because we're all made in God's image. Some of us are made a little different from each other, but that's the beauty of the world we live in. So I pray nothing but blessings for you as you start your disability ministry. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them in the comments. I'm still learning and growing in this program too, but let's go on this journey together as we explore education, ministry, and more.